Welcome to the Public Speaking Experts Podcast with Elliot Kay and Jose Ucar. Every week we bring the tips, tools, and strategies for you to become a world-class public speaker. We bring you guests, experts, and authorities in the field of public speaking to enrich you and enhance your public speaking journey. Remember to subscribe, rate, and comment. And now, please welcome your hosts, Elliot and Jose.
Jose. Jose. Yay! It's another episode of the Public Speaking Expert Podcast. We are here. You are there. You are there. So it's the Public Speaking Expert Podcast. Jose, I believe we're recording part 2.
Oh, are we recording? Part 2?
You're so funny.
Well, now I'm going to get some questions.
You know how funny you are? You know, this is how funny you are, right? That's how funny you are. Are your lips nice and moist now? By the way, for those of you listening and not seeing, by the way, you can listen and see our episodes on YouTube, Public Speaking Experts Show. Jose just paused to moist his lips.
The power of the pause. What can I say? It is important. And then it's important that you are hydrated. And yes, you don't want to be smacking. So sometimes you could be smacking with your lips as well.
Smacking who?
Well, I'm going to smack you if you don't just leave me alone.
Where did you ever hear that terminology? Smacking. Is that
the smacking with your mouth? Like.
Is that what I mean?
When people
do that?
Not that one. When people go. Right. Well, now it is my turn to ask. Look, it's my turn to ask. The what? Are you recording it?
No, I'm not recording it. Go on. Ask my question. Part 2. So today we are. So part 1 we did Jose. So what we did is we've gathered all the most the common and the biggest and most popular questions around public speaking, and we did 10 questions. So that was part 1. So you haven't listened to that. And then part 2 is me today being grilled by Jose. He's going to ask me 10 questions. I don't know what they are. I just know they're the most popular public speaking questions, and I have to answer them. Who's sponsoring? So who's the sponsor today, Jose? Very quickly in 2 words.
Bros in Marketing, the show reels of your dreams.
All right. We'll do a proper break after 5th question, but over to you. Let's go.
Let's go. I'm so excited. I get to ask Elliot. How old are you? That's got nothing to do with this public speaking. Okay, I'm sorry. So,
but I'm 46. I'm fit at 46.
I love it. So, what information would you use to sketch out a speech structure?
What information would I use to sketch out a speech structure? Okay, so I guess what they're really asking is, how would I choose the right structure to convey the information? Would that be about right? So I would ask.
Can be a version, yeah.
I would ask, who's the audience? What is their particular pain, problem? What keeps them up at night? What have previous speakers that have gone down well presented? And what is the caliber of clients, even in terms of their earnings, like that? I would look at that. So I'd scope the audience, the type of event, and the length. Then from that, I would either engineer a structure that works for the audience. Like today I was working with someone and she's changing her talk for an event we're doing. And so because what she wants to communicate, didn't really fit into the structure as I would teach, I then engineered a structure to communicate that, which is different from the numeral structure. So I would find out what's behind the juice, and then I would take the juice and drop it in the right blender so you get the right mix to drink at the end. That's what I would do.
Okay, and then before that you buy the fruits as well. Fantastic answer.
Exactly.
Well done, you Elliot Kay. Are you going to give me the transition sound, please? How do I prepare for a speech?
Wow. From beginning to end. Okay, so such a big question. So how do you prepare? So assuming you have a speech in mind, okay, here's what you do. First things first, You, again, very much what I said before, know who you're speaking to, know what works, know what doesn't, know what other people have done that works well. Find a structure that works for you, that allows you to be free with your presentation and your talk, but still lead you to the outcome you want. Integrate stories that help emphasize the point. Use content that's relevant to the audience. Practice it at least 50 times, minimum 50 times before putting it out there. Practice them in front of people. Get feedback. Ask them to rip it apart and help you put it back together again. Do it again and again and again. Record it, watch it back. Record it, watch it back. Record it, listen back. Record it, watch it back. Record it, listen back. Record it, watch it back. Right? Then what I would do as well is on the day have what we would call a pre-stage ritual, where it helps you kind of get into the zone, get into state, helps you manage the nerves, and then go out there and drop it like it's hot.
Smashing, amazing, Elliot Kay. I'm gonna read the questions from my phone. Sorry, from my laptop now. Easier.
You see, getting all technological on me.
So, how do I know what topics are going to be of the greatest interest to my audience?
Fantastic question.
Very important.
Several things you can do. Ask the event organizer. Again, this seems to have a theme to it. Ask the event organizer, whoever's booking you, again, what's their greatest pain? What's their problem? You know, what other speakers have said. I'm not just repeating myself, but these questions are very close. The other thing you can do is do pre-attendance questionnaires. So where you ask the event organizer to send out certain questions that they answer, you get the feedback and the data, which allows you then to understand what is the best content to present in front of them. Then you re-engineer your content because you have an extra structure that I taught you, like my signature talk structure or my keynote structure, right? And then from there, what you do is you then go and present and you drop it like it's hot.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. It's hot, it's hot, it's hot.
Next question. Bring it.
You've already answered this, but anyway, how many times should you rehearse a speech?
How long is a piece of string? Here's the thing. When you're learning something, I would say you rehearse at least 50 times before going out there and delivering it. Why is that? If you do it 10 times, you'll get comfortable and you think you know. If you do it 20 times, you'll get competent and you think you've got it. If you do 30 times, things will pop up that you didn't expect, you didn't know, or suddenly you'll say things in a way you never said it before. If you do it 40 times, you get all of the above, plus you'll start to get that real feel of confidence. You do it 50 times, you'll really get that feeling that you know it inside out and back to front, right? So that's why it should be 50 times minimum. Now, if it's a talk you're doing on a regular basis, I would practice it at least once a week. I'll go through it, watch footage, listen back to it. How can I tweak? You know, if not, but then building up to a talk that you're doing, even if you know it, I'd still go through it 10 to 20 times before. If it's a massive, like if you're going in front of thousands of people, and let's say you've been doing smaller rooms, you need to go again 50 times. And I'll tell you what, because your gestures need to be bigger. Your projection needs to change. Your body needs to be bigger. And the energy that you need to deliver it on has to be bigger. And I've seen people that go from rooms of 100 to 1,000 and they burn out halfway through because they're not used to energy like that. So that's something you need to practice.
Powerful stuff.
Got you thinking, haven't you?
I guess, yeah, it got me thinking.
I love you.
If you haven't got that energy, how do you get that energy? So
practice.
Absolutely.
And guidance. Work with people like me or you. Mentorship.
And practice.
Coaching.
Practice the heck out of it.
Training.
Thank you for that, Elliot. Yes. So
Lots of
give me a
Red Bull.
transition sound. Red Bull. Whoa, no. Last time I had Red Bull, I ended up in hospital. So not good. Not good for my tummy. You know what?
Ooh. Here we go.
What's happening?
I'm on Riverside, mate.
Hey, mate. So what's the best number of messages to try to communicate when I'm giving a speech?
It depends on the length, right, of the talk, but I would still stick to 3 main messages that lead to one climactic one. So our brain loves 3s, we remember 3s, and make sure they build on each other. They're not like very different from each other, but 3 is the magic number. And then I would end with a beautifully strong, powerful, enrolling, empowering, inspiring, motivational, inspirational message at the end that blows people away. You get me, fam?
There we go, people. Are you listening to this? Are you taking notes? Are you re-listening to this? Are you taking action? Are you ready for the next question, Elliot Kay?
Yes, but you're going to do a quick sponsorship break.
And remember that you're listening to the Public Speaking Experts podcast with Jose Ucar and Elliot Kay. We are loving it, and we are loving the fact that you are listening and following and subscribing to our podcast. You're sharing it with your audience as well. You're learning and you are taking action. People, if you want to get in touch, you know where to reach myself or Elliot. You can go to joseucar.com or to, and I always mess this up. So what's your website, Elliot? You've got too many.
No,
Which
just the
one would you
Public
like me to
Speaking
share?
Expert podcast.com.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can focus on that one. And today's episode is being sponsored by Bros in Marketing. Bros in Marketing is a business I run with my brother. Yeah, makes sense. Bros in Marketing. And we create incredible show reels for speakers. And that's one of the most important assets if you want to get booked and get paid to speak. Thank you very much for listening. And let's carry on with the next question.
Amazing. Bros in Marketing. Over to you, my man.
Yeah. Thank you so
So,
much, brother.
are you ready?
Loving you all. I'm ready. I was expecting the other one. So, should you memorize your entire presentation? Why? And why not? It's a bit of a controversial question in there. Why and why not?
Should you Yes is the answer. I don't believe in scripts, okay? So I'm not one to say script your talk, but definitely memorize your from beginning to end, back to front, side. Like, here's the thing, right? A lot of speakers end up relying on technology, and technology goes down. You should be able to deliver your talk without slides. Full stop. Boom. Right? So that's why you need to memorize, and that's why you must. Now, of course, technology magnifies your talk, but it should not replace you as a speaker. You are still the speaker. You're still holding the space. And you're still the one that's going out there to deliver the talk. That's why. Why not? I can't think why not. Why would you not want to go out there and be the best version of yourself with the ability to perform in excellence beyond that, in your genius to enroll, empower, and educate your audience? Why would you ever not want to memorize your talk? So I don't have an answer to why not. The only reason I can think about it is that you're Jose and you're a rebel and you won't do what you tell me. And that's why you wouldn't memorize it.
You're not my dad.
Yeah, so I don't know why you would not. I don't know.
I guess you meant. I mean, maybe it's the angle of scripting, because I think when you script, it's just then too rigid. But then if you have the structures that you recommend, then it gives you that freedom. But at the same time, I mean, you're memorizing stuff. I mean, you're memorizing your stories, you're practicing it, you're rehearsing
exactly.
it. So yeah, otherwise,
Yes.
What's the point? Don't go out and wing it. Don't go out there and wing it, because you're not going to get paid for that.
Exactly.
So, Elliot, transition for the next question.
Yeah.
Is it okay to read from notes during a presentation?
Well, I know you're giving it the thumbs down, but here's what I say about that. As long as the notes are a trigger to remind you versus you relying on your notes. So some of the best TED Talks, the people are reading. They're reading their notes, their cue cards, but they have absolutely rehearsed the notes. They haven't relied on the notes. Therefore, when they glance down, they're still able to very quickly look up and deliver the talk with impact. I would rather you didn't, but if you must, you've got to rehearse it. You've got to know the order. They've got to be easy to follow, not heavy on information. So you go, what did I put here? Or, if you flick one and you drop them, they're all in an order that you can't follow. So I say if you must, then they must only be used as a prompt to remind you what to say next and not replace your talk. is my answer.
Well, I will also say, people, because yeah, the notes. I personally don't like the notes. Elliot has got a point. You can also use this, baby. There are memory techniques that will help you memorizing those bits as well. Ways in which you can create connections, and there are some very valid techniques that we can help you with, so that you memorize those points, so you don't have any notes and you just share your greatness as you can and as you will. Transition for the next question, Elliot K, please.
Yes.
Why not? Hey, how do I prepare a news note? There we go again.
How do I prepare a news note? I think I kind of
Yeah.
answered that already, didn't I?
Yeah, and
So I
it's
think we've
boring.
already
I mean,
done.
go.
We've got the,
Yeah, you see
Yeah, I've won
notes.
that
I mean,
one.
you will find another way, and you will be greater, even greater, because you're gonna be free. You know, you got it all in here. Practice though. How do I prepare a news note? What is the best way to start a presentation? Pow! I love that one.
Oh, that's a good one. There's so many ways you can start a presentation.
Can you not say hello? I'm Jose.
You can, and then you'll sound like everyone else that starts with "Hello, I'm Jose." Or everybody that says, "Hi, I'm a speaker. My
Hi.
name's Elliot Kay, and I've got over 10,000 hours of public speaking. I've written 5 books."
I want to be a
You
best
know,
speaker.
here's what I suggest you do. If you really know your audience, you know will go down well as well. Look, you want to disrupt the thinking. That's the key here when it comes to the opening of the way. So whether it's climbing up a ladder, pretending you're gonna jump to start it off, if it's reading notes of your audience and what they have filled in previous to you coming on stage, if it's a statement, if it's stats, a question, a story, what it's got to do initially is interrupt the audience's thoughts so they lean in, they're thinking. Because a part of them going, "Hi, my name's Jose," or "My name's Elliot, and I'm a speaker," and I've told the audience that all I'm going to do is talk about myself, right? Versus doing something that jolts them, gets them thinking, gets them sit up. Like a friend of ours, he uses a didgeridoo. He comes on stage and goes, he used to beatboxes into it. Anyway, terrible version. And then he explains why. So he originally catches them out straight away, didgeridoo. So what you want to do is get people's thoughts jolted. You want to interrupt them cognitively and then use your opening like that. So that's what I would say. I know it's not an exact way of doing it, but that is one of the ways to do it. Do it, do it right. Do it to me. If you want to do it right. No. Okay. How many you got left? How many are you hitting me with?
Just the one. I've given you 9, and this is number 10. So how
Go on.
It is the last one, people.
Yes.
Are you sad? Are you sad like I am? Yes. I'm not sad. I'm actually very excited because I'm gonna get off the call and I don't get to see Elliot Kay in a while.
Cool. What cool?
Now, well, this is a call. This is a podcast episode. We are okay, whatever. The question, listen to the question so that you can answer it. It makes sense. You first listen and then you answer. How do I start a speech with an icebreaker? Icebreaker.
That's the question. How do I start a speech with an icebreaker?
Yeah, that's the question.
With an icebreaker?
With a nice break.
Huh?
No, with a nice breaker. Okay, bad job.
An icebreaker. Okay. So you've got to choose the icebreaker that either is going to create unity, connection, warmth, laughter. The reason we do an icebreaker is to get people engaged and enrolled, right? So if you're going to choose an icebreaker, then make sure it's one that gets as many people engaged, as many people laughing, smiling, and happy as possible. Because what you do, and it's very easy to do, right? Because the last thing you want is people going, "What? I don't understand. I feel stupid," and I don't from the word go, and then it puts you in a disadvantage as a speaker because they're not getting you as a speaker from the word go, so they've got their defensive up. Versus a very simple icebreaker that's easy to follow, that's fun, and people are smiling. So when you end it like they're more connected, and you've shifted the energy in the room. That's the kind of icebreaker I'd recommend you start with. I mean, there's tons of different ones to choose from. You just need to Google icebreakers, test them out, see how they go down, and then that's the one that goes down the best, the one that's more consistent, the one that's easy to explain. That's the one I would go with, and that's how you do it. So, how do I do, Jose?
This is how you do it. You've done very well, Elliot Kay. It's been a pleasure.
This is how we do it.
I don't usually know the lyrics to many songs, not even in Spanish. Guess
But?
I'm lazy like that. No, there's no but. I just don't. I just wanted to
Why not?
wrap up the
What's wrong
show.
with you?
Why not? What?
So is that
Why
limiting belief? That's just a limiting belief.
There's a limiting belief. There we go. So I'll start memorizing them. People, you have heard the answers from Elliot Kay to 10 different questions. These are popular topics that we decided to pick from the internet in order to answer
some of our
questions.
rooms, by the way.
Yeah, that as well. From Clubhouse, we've done, close to 200 rooms now?
Probably about 180 by now.
Yeah, so there we
So
go.
close to 200, you're right.
Yeah, it is close. So 180, it is quite close to 200. It makes sense. So only 20 away, right? Yeah, there we go. Some money, some more cash in there, some more tips. I love it. I'll bring you a pizza later for whatever reason.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm still waiting for my birthday present.
I don't know what to say. I owe you the birthday present. I will bring myself to you.
Go on then. You keep threatening.
I know, Pizza. Where are you? Look, people, you've listened then to the Public Speaking Experts podcast. Please take action, as we always like to say. Subscribe. Actually, click subscribe to this. Leave us a comment. Share it with your audience. And then if you send us a picture, Elliot is going to be shipping a free copy of his book. And soon, and this is down to me, by the way, soon we're going to be launching a book together. But since I haven't checked some of the chapters, then it's not ready yet, but it will be this year, hopefully before that. And yes, it is my responsibility and I take ownership. I failed a little bit and I'm in the process of doing it. People, I love you. We will leave you only until next week. Any final words? Elliot Kay, over to you, my friend. It's great to be back after 2 weeks away from podcasting.
Yeah. No, I think listen to the answers, take action, be consistent.